Yeah, it's been an amazing year, really. The boys have played 25 games. They've won 21 of those games en route to the Lancashire Cup final, and in doing so became the fourth team in our school's history to make the Lancs final. They've been a tremendous group of lads, really, who've deserved everything they've got. The training ethic has been beyond any that I've ever had from any team in my 12 seasons at Audenshaw. They put in 4 sessions a week, with a big part of that being what we do down here at Olympic Gym, and that's important in getting the edge over a lot of the teams we play. We don't have the money, we don't have the resources of the majority of the teams out there on the circuit, where they're mainly private school outfits. So it's important to us to gain those advantages where we can, and doing what we do down here at Olympic and have done for over a decade now does a great deal for our teams.
Well, I went to Audenshaw myself in the 90s, that makes me feel very old by saying that, and the teachers like Mr Trigg and Mr Ward, back in the day they used to bring the lads here, because obviously Olympic's been around since 1983 when my dad opened it, so just had a fantastic relationship with Audenshaw over the years. It's a fantastic school, fantastic teachers, and they're just so into the sport, and Chris now has took it on to the next level, where we know S&C is so important in sport nowadays, and it really has paid dividends to these boys this year. Like second in Lancashire, it's like an unbelievable achievement, and that's down to the work ethic, the lads, and obviously Mr Rolls, fantastic teacher. Like it's Saturday now and he's bringing the lads, you know, so just a great all-round effort. It's a pleasure training the guys, and yeah, they've done really well, and we've got sevens coming up as well in a couple of weeks, and again we've changed the training plan now. It's going to be shorter games but a bit more intense, so yeah, it's just been a fantastic relationship we've had over the years.
Brilliant stuff. So Chris, you're an experienced rugby player in Union and League. How important has strength training become in rugby these days?
It's a massive part. I think when I look at my own experiences in the professional game, probably the percentage time now spent conditioning to being out on the field is about 60-40 in favour of the conditioning. There's such a relationship, such a connection between your skill execution and your level of fitness. You can have a very, very skillful player, but if they're not strong and they're not fit, they'll only go a certain way, and they'll die off in the remaining last periods of games. So we put a huge emphasis on this, particularly as Stephen says, now going into the 7th season, which is very, very demanding, where you're at these one-day festivals, you're playing for 4 or 5 hours a day, and if you want to go to the final stages and win the big games, your conditioning is invaluable in getting you there. We've now had over 50 boys from Audenshaw in my 12 years who've gone on into the professional ranks of both codes of the game. We've currently got 3 first team players at Warrington Wolves. We've had lads go through to Leeds Rhinos, to Salford Reds, and through to Sale Sharks as well. And certainly in this bunch here, based on our record, I would predict that you'll see 3 of these boys at least playing professional rugby in the years to come.
Fantastic stuff. And Steve, if there are any other schools in the area that want to come on board, take part in your sessions to help improve their performances, are they more than welcome to do so?
Of course, yeah, Olympic, we're just open to the youth. We always have been. My dad's trained us as young athletes, like me and my brother played for Man United, and obviously our Sean was in the Commonwealth Games, and our Mark's been a world elite level weightlifter as well. So yeah, we're all about youth here, Mark, and any schools out there want to use the facility, or just kids in general who want to get better at sport, or just to get off the streets and be fit and healthy mentally and physically, they're more than welcome to come down to Olympic anytime.